In the quiet corners of history, a whisper echoes, a whisper of foresight, of strategy, and of an ancient wisdom that can unlock the secrets of tomorrow's markets. Most of us are blind to it, caught in the comfortable illusion of stability, like a frog slowly boiling in water, unaware of the impending doom. But what if I told you there's a way to not just survive the inevitable financial shocks of 2026, but to profit handsomely from them? This isn't about predicting the exact date or the precise catalyst. This is about mastering the unseen battlefield, understanding the art of war as applied to your wealth. This is about Sun Tzu's secret. And by the end of this video, you'll see the world and your finances in a profoundly different way. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could be the most important financial insight you hear all year. Think back to 2008. The housing market, a pillar of American prosperity, crumbled. Then 2020, a global pandemic brought economies to a screeching halt. Both were labeled unforeseen crises, right? But were they? Or were there clear precursors, subtle tremors that most of us, lulled by confirmation bias and herd mentality, simply chose to ignore? We crave stability, we seek patterns that confirm our existing beliefs, and we follow the crowd, even if that crowd is walking straight off a cliff. This isn't a criticism, it's a fundamental human flaw that the savvy investor must overcome. The illusion of stability is a powerful drug, and it blinds us to the gradual shifts, the hairline fractures forming in the foundations of our financial world. Sun Tzu, the legendary military strategist, never spoke of stock markets, but his wisdom is eerily relevant. He taught us to win without fighting, to master the unseen battlefield. His approach wasn't about head-on collision, but about strategic patience, waiting for the opportune moment. It's about identifying the weak points, those subtle chinks in the armor of a seemingly robust system. Where are the hidden leverages? Where does systemic fragility lie just beneath the surface? And then, critically, it's about exploiting the power of the oblique, making indirect moves that create disproportionate impact. While everyone else is focused on the front lines, the smart money is moving through the shadows, positioning for the inevitable shifts. So, how do we decode this whisper network of impending financial strain? It's not found on CNBC or in the latest analyst reports. We need to look at the shadow economy signals. What are the unconventional data points emerging from fringe markets, from distressed assets? What are these often ignored corners telling us? Then we turn our gaze to geopolitical undercurrents. How does seemingly unrelated global events, a conflict in a distant land, a shift in trade policy, ripple through our interconnected financial systems? And finally, the velocity of capital. Is money flowing freely, or are there subtle signs of seizure, a slowing of liquidity and credit that signals deeper problems? These aren't headlines, these are the subtle tremors that precede the earthquake. Let's talk about covert profiteering. Think The Big Short, but reimagined for 2026. How did foresight and unconventional analysis lead to massive gains for a select few? They weren't reacting, they were anticipating. We can also learn from emerging market stress tests. When nations face the brink, immense opportunities can arise for those who understand the underlying vulnerabilities and are prepared to act. And what about the tech bubble's silent pop? Many remember the dramatic crash, but few recall the early investors who quietly divested long before the mainstream realized the party was over. These aren't just stories, they're blueprints for navigating the future. They show us that turning crisis into capital isn't about luck, it's about preparation and strategic thinking. So, what does your strategic playbook look like for the unseen future? First, diversifying beyond the obvious. We're not just talking stocks and bonds, we're talking unconventional hedges, assets that move independently of traditional markets, that thrive when others falter. Second, developing your indirect network. This means building relationships with alternative data sources, with contrarian thinkers, with those who see the world differently, who aren't afraid to challenge the prevailing narrative. And finally, cultivating the long game mindset. This isn't about getting rich quick, it's about patience, discipline, and the profound understanding that the biggest profits often come from future crises, not from today's headlines. The financial shocks of 2026 are not a matter of if, but when. But you now have a choice. You can be like the many, caught off guard, reacting to events as they unfold, or you can embrace Sun Tzu's secret, master the unseen battlefield, and position yourself not just to survive, but to truly profit. The paradox of finance is that often the greatest wealth is created when everyone else is panicking. This is Paradox of Finance. If you found this insight valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the hidden forces shaping your financial future. What are your thoughts on anticipating market shifts? Share your insights in the comments below. I read every one. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, please share this video with them. The future of your finances is not predetermined, it's a battlefield to be won. And with Sun Tzu's wisdom, you're now armed with a secret weapon. Until next time, stay strategic.